Hello everybody, my name's Bill. This is 6 Round Studio. Today we're going to take the Stevens Favorite apart. Probably not going to do a lot of talking on this. I just want to get it apart, and if I think there's something important that I need to tell you, I will tell you. Otherwise, just stick around for the ride as I begin to take this thing apart. I'll take the forearm off first. Set that aside. Front sight is out. Pull the elevator ramp out. Pull the rear sight out. That came out very, very nice. Now we'll pull the barrel off. We won't be looking at this again until we get ready to do the polish and blue on it. Set that aside. Pull the retainer out for the barrel. Okay. Let's pull the rear stock off. Set that aside till we're ready for that. I'm not going to pull the pad off until I get ready to do that part of the restoration. Let's get the extractor. And we've done this before. I'm not going to take this apart until we get ready to do that part of the restoration. We will take the extractor out though. Set that aside. Now this part I have never done before. I haven't gone this far into it, so there is a leaf spring that puts pressure on the hammer. Well, with the hammer no longer engaged in that leaf spring, let's see if that'll come out. And it does, just like that. Let's tape those up together so I know where they go. If you've watched any of my disassembly videos, then you know that I always try to keep connected parts together so that I don't get them mixed or confused. Alright, and that leaves the trigger, and that is loose, so that isn't under any spring pressure as well. And that came right out. All right. tape those parts up together. Each of these internal parts will do the restoration when we get to it. If you watched my Ithaca restoration video, you saw that I did the same thing. It just makes it easier on me. I don't have to try and do a detailed documentation of where the parts go. I just put them together, and of course I've got this video that helps me put it all back together, and there's plenty of other options for learning how to assemble and disassemble this as well. All right, let's get that main leaf spring out of there. Now, because there's no tension on the leaf spring any longer, getting the screw pull is relatively easy to do. And I'm doing that. I'm going right down through the hole for the stock with a skinny screwdriver that just happens to line up. So there's a good design right there. So Stevens did a really nice design job there, or the engineers did. One of my jobs when I worked for Ruger before I retired, we talked a lot about designing for manufacturability. Quite literally, if you can't put something together, or you can't put it together in an industrial or manufacturing or factory environment, then your design needs improvement, it needs work. Now this one here, this spring goes to the trigger, and it does not have a hole, but it is not under a lot of tension. Alright, that's a small skinny leaf spring. And it is dirty. Let's take that all up. Put that in the box. Of course, you guys can see the plastic boxes. Everyone has a way of being organized so that I can get back to it and not get too confused. This is all script. This is one of the simplest little firearms ever. The condition of this is excellent. There are no breaks or cracks. There's a few little dings and scratches that we're going to have to go after, but mostly this is in really top shape. We'll do the forearm when we get to it. Again, she talked about that break that was here. We'll have to go after that. There is so much finish on this that it's actually bubbling up. Well, I'll tell you what, we've gotten this far. No, I think I'm still going to leave that pad on there because when I go to strip this, I don't want to round those edges over. So I want to be able to sand down to the pad. Here's something interesting. When the owner of this wire wheeled it, they didn't pull the rear leaf spring, rear leaf sight off from it. And you can see clearly the original bluing, which is good, which helps to verify the fact that it did come out of the factory with that bluing on it. It is dirty, and it is tough to know just how good that rifling is because it is so dirty. We may never get this thing to shoot really well unless we reline it. I'm not sure that I want to go through all that. That's a future video for sure, but there's a lot of videos on the internet right now talking about how to reline a barrel. Yeah, I can see the original bluing down inside the dovetail here as well. Got a little bit of that original case coloring still remaining. in those places that didn't get exposed or pulled off. Believe it or not, guys, that's today's video. We have this thing apart. Next time we come together on the Steven's favorite, I think I'm first going to strip the butt. So order of things to come. I think I'm first going to strip the butt because I can't do anything with the metal. I mentioned in my last video that I'm going to have to do a little bit of rolling over of the metal to get it to blend into the wood. So we're going to do that. We'll strip this first. That way I'll know what my final dimension of the wood is. And then I can begin to roll that metal so that it fits the contours. The bottom is really pretty good, which is good because that's where the serial number and the roll marking is, so we want not to pursue that. Alright guys, that ends this video right here. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, we would love to have you here for future videos. Consider signing up for my Patreon page. Super thanks, as my buddy Jeff says, the greatest idea with the worst name ever. If you'd like to contribute $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, I would appreciate all that as well. It helps pay the bills. Guys, I will see you absolutely in the next video.